Well, I believe that it is so critical. Really the money, it's called the redevelopment money, it's really just property tax. I mean, if you don't live in the redevelopment area, and for argument's sake you had a property tax of only $100, that's ludicrous, nobody has one that little, but just say you only had a $100 property tax, the city would only get $15.60 of it. That's what we would have to run the city on. The general fund that pays for the policemen and all the other things. But if we get that $100 from the redevelopment area, it's the same property tax, the same $100, but it's redevelopment, then almost the entire $100 will stay with us. Roughly 20% of that has to go for affordable housing. A lot of people don't like that because they feel like that's a giveaway. And in fact, you're reading the paper all the time now about all the giveaway that's happening in Washington and saying that isn't the way I was brought up and that sort of thing. Came up through the Depression. I had to work hard. Well, it doesn't matter whether we want to have affordable housing or not. It's mandated. There are times when I'm driving down the street and a red light comes on and I don't want to stop because it interrupts my travels. But it's mandated that I stop. It's mandated. And affordable housing is mandated. And sometimes when we have to build affordable houses, we don't have a lot of open fields we can go to, so we have to go to houses that are in very bad shape, that are really slum places. Now, we have categories of affordable housing that we are mandated. We have moderate, we have low, and we have very low. It so happens that to try to improve the appearance in the Richmond area, we decided that we would put in the affordable housing mostly of a moderate with a few low. We have now used up all of our moderate criteria. We can't put any more in. In fact, we've got to put in more low and very low. It so happens if you put in moderate affordable housing, this can be owner-occupied. It's heavily subsidized. Believe me, it's heavily subsidized. In fact, to get some of this land to tear down the old duplexes that were rotting and falling down, we had to pay almost $1 million for the property and then relocation money to get the people moved into another piece of property, a rental unit, and then we had to clean the lot, and sometimes we paid as much as $1.3 million just to get a clean lot. And then we're going to spend about $350 for these moderate houses, because that's as high as you can go, because you can't buy them if they cost more than $350 if you're moderate. But that's what we had to do because it's mandated. Now then we're looking how we're going to fill the criteria of very low affordable housing, which we have to do by 2014. Now, very low affordable housing doesn't mean you can buy it, because you can't. Even if because you haven't got anything, you can't buy it. We've learned that from the subprime thing, haven't we? So that means we're going to have to make rental units. Now, we can make towers, great big tall towers, or we can try to make it look relatively attractive so it won't be a ghetto-like thing. So these are some of the things that we're looking at. And if we do that in very low, we have to pump this 20% set aside to do it, because the very low people aren't going to have it. They can't pay it. And they're going to have a fixed rental rate. But we can put criteria on those houses so they can't bring in and do subleasing and have too many people in it, and you can have inspections to make sure that they look nice and so forth. Those are things that we have to do by 2014. Now, we have redevelopment areas right now, but they're running out of their time state. In fact, I think it runs out something around 2020 or something, and we won't be getting it anymore. So why are we worried about this other area? Because that means it went for 45 years. But it means the money stays here in the city to do the things we have to do, like affordable housing and other things, build new municipal auditoriums or what have you, and encourage business. Encourage business. Small business loans and even homes can get some of the money that need it. That's what it would do. I don't need it. I'm okay. I'm okay where I live up on the hill. But there are a lot of people that need this to make our city stay beautiful. When I came on 12 years ago, the downtown was, I think it was pawn shops and antiques. Okay, so we got a lot of bars and restaurants, and some of them got out of control, but they're under control now. And we've done so many other things. We've improved our parks, a new police station, and so forth, reservoirs, all of these things we've done with that redevelopment money. And if that's not going to be available to us out after 2020 or 24 or whenever it is, then we're going to have to worry about where we're going to pay for the things in a city of 140 to 150,000 people. I always like to keep my money in my pocket or in my bank. I don't want to send it off to some place like to Sacramento and hope to heavens that they're going to send it back. You know they're not. They're going to send it to Hunter Point or Watts or some Fresno or who knows where. But I like to have the money where I can spend it. And I think that's why you elected us to the council, so that we could represent you and try to spend it on the things that you feel are important to the progress and good being of your city. So I'm going to support the motion I made. It may not go through, and if we fall through, then we're going to have to sweat out where we're going to get the money in the future.